Yeah, welcome back, people. You know what I mean? This is learning cover of music, you know? Yeah, man, today we have a vocal to work on. You know what I mean? Someone sent me the dubplate, you know? There's a next reggae dubplate from Busy Signal. You know, you guys might know the artist from Jamaica, you know what I mean, who sings Steps, you know? He have a bunch of hits, you know? But this is a song, they're based in New York City, you know? I can't play the song name, they asked me not to play the name, but I can play part of the lyrics of the song now, you know? So today we have an instrumental, you know what I mean? We build this instrumental, seeing? Big up to Jacko straight, you know? Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, we have a rhythm here right now, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, let me play the rhythm first. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, man, there's a new rhythm here, people, and we looking to push this out now. Yeah. Little more than 10 seconds, you know? Yeah. The man with the name Runway. Yeah. Yeah, man, all they get the drift, you know what I mean? All they get the drift. Seeing? Put back on that loop. Yeah. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? We have a cappella here. We come to teach you about mixing a particular, let's say you get a big time artist, you know, like say you get an artist like Busy Signal or Movado, or you get, you know, some artists different from mixing that. Since we get R&B, it's different to mix. You can't follow the same preset because you build a preset and say, all right, this preset will always work. It's always got to change up, like what I was gonna teach you guys now, you know. My first process of mixing and stuff, I like to listen to the vocal before I start mixing, you know, before I get an idea how to like get the vocal to fit the rhythm. See? How to make the rhythm song alright on the vocal. See? So they asked me because I guess they were having problem mixing the rhythm then. I guess they were having problem mixing the rhythm. You know what I mean? My bad people, you know. I have a problem mixing the rhythm. See? So they send me the vocal and I tell them I'm gonna try a thing. Seeing? And I mix it yesterday for them. So they said they love it, but the thing about when they send me the rhythm, you know what I mean, they never the rhythm wasn't the right rhythm. So they reset the rhythm today. And I say, you know what, Jet? I go just, you know what I mean, I go do what the track with the rhythm and everything and just record it now, you know. So this is live here, people, you know. There's actual live mixing right now, people, you know. So I say I use some plenty processors, but this time I listen back the vocal and I say, you know what, boy, maybe I can put some other vocal to make the song kind of stand out now because through the rhythm new and I want BCCL now to stand out when they play it in the dance now, you know. So what I'm gonna do now, process the vocal by starting like what I usually do. You know what I mean? I like to my favorite plugin I like to use. All you don't know. It's from TB Pro Audio, you know? That is my first thing I like to start with, you know? Secondly, you know what I mean? Listen to the vocal song. The right on the vocal is in mono, you know what I mean? It's split to the right side. See, listen to the vocal song. Listen to it by itself, you know?
We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur.
Yeah. You see how that vocal song, people, you know what I mean, is the same. Right now the vocal split. It's on to one side. I don't know if you're listening through YouTube. You know what I mean? One side of the ears is on the right side right now. So you need to get the vocal stereo. To get the vocal stereo, you gotta. I like to use a plugin from Brainworks BX Control V2. Right now it's on. Look, this is it right here, people. All I gotta do is just press M and the track becomes stereo. Listen to it.
No respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We no respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur.
Right, that's what I like to do. I like to put that plug in. Right, anywhere before the EQ. See? My next plugin I like to use, you don't know, all the things set up already. I like to use Neutron Equalizer. I did a review on this a couple of months ago, and I teach you guys how to use this EQ, you know. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, I like to use it because I like to access the instrumental. Like I'll show you guys how to set it up. You know what I mean? And it's on the other side of the instrumental. Look at it right here. Seeing? I gotta go through that chain. It's the same chain I've been using for many years, you know. So, first video, I did that chain how to set up a 2-track, and it's the same way I set it up. Seeing? So, when I'm setting up the vocal now, look at the vocal. What I did to the vocal.
We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up.
You see, I'm taking out. You basically are doing dynamic cutting. And right now I'm cutting the vocal with the instrumental hitting. This is only vocal hitting. You know? And the instrumental.
Up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar.
Yeah, so I saw everything cutting from anytime the vocal frequency hit the instrumental, it just bring it down. Seeing? It just bring it down. So I cutting right here, cutting on the first bar. I am cutting I'm cutting like 250. Same because look at this pink thing right here. Seeing I cutting 260. And the other one I cutting at 850. Seeing? All right, moving on right now, people. You know what I mean? I don't want to stay too long because I covered this already. You know what I mean? This is auto-tune. I'm using auto-tune on busy voice. You know how busy like to write down the vocal and really tongue to write. You know what I mean? I just gain them. That's the fit the rhythm. Seeing? I just put the auto-tune to that's a fit the rhythm. Listen to the track song. Without the auto-tune.
Select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur.
I just using the auto-tune, that's the let me tighten up the voice, you know. Not really, I using plenty like T-Pain. Now listen to it song now.
We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blur. We respect jump and sound, that's why we not give them no power. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that.
Yeah, people, you know what I mean? The only thing don't sound the song sweet already. Seeing? Next plugin I like to use is from Slate Digital. Let's see if we can load up. I hope I'm thinking crash on me right now. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Load up, man. Oh, my goodness. Load up here now. Yes, next plugin I like to use is from Slate Digital. First plugin I teach all the guys who I like to use Slate Digital. Slate Digital is a nice, powerful plugin, you know what I mean? I use it when I'm mixing down rhythms and stuff. When people send me the rhythm after Florida Studio, I use my exact plugins I use from Slate Digital. You know what I mean? And tell you, trust me, all the rhythms that I produce and that I get and I put out there is turned out to be good. A lot of rhythms I did, you know what I mean? So the first channel on the vocals, I put a VC channel on here because reason why I'm using that because on the output, the main channel, I have a virtual rack. Seeing? You know, I teach all the guys about this already. I'm putting the virtual bus because this vocal going into the virtual bus, you know? So I ain't want to really talk about that because I did a review on that already, you know. Yeah, moving right along. I put the virtual channel, and I don't really use it. I don't really think I'm gonna use this EQ. Seeing? Then I had the revival to give it like a some grit inside of the voice. Then I'm using the compressor, and there's a new compressor from the guys. You know what I mean? It's basically the same compressor, but they change. I don't know, some kind of thing that they take. You know what I mean? So yeah. So moving on now. What I did was, let me start from the beginning, so you guys can kind of understand what I did now. So I like to solo. You always go to solo with Spatiers right now.
Them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no. We always give sound in the street and left them up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no.
It's good to back off, you know what I mean? To me, you're not really the difference, but I like to keep it on 12. Seeing? I like to put it on 12. I don't know why, but I just like to put it on 12. You know what I mean? Seeing? Yeah, I like to put it on 12. I like to put it on 12. And the thickness, I like to move the thickness to like close to 2 to 3, So let me listen to how it song now.
We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Things are song Chris already, you know what I mean? Let's move on to the compressor, The black compressor is just like yeah. So what I did now with this compressor here, I keep the attack on 2 and the release on a fast release, So listen to it song, and I have no noise reduction because I know busy record not in a professional studio, but a studio with somebody create. You know what I mean? That's to get rid of the AC noise and the humming noise in the background. You know what I mean? So listen to all the tune song people, Put it on.
That's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff.
Yeah, man, right now the vocals are feeling like it in your face right now, So moving on to the next compressor here now. You know what I mean? This compressor, I'm gonna try to do a parallel compressor. Seeing? You know what I mean? Same close to the same attack, too, and more faster release, So let's go.
And them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar. Enough select that show them a bluff and them a blar. We respect jump and down, that's why we not give them no bar. We always kill sound in the street and left them a up on the tar.
Yeah, right now we put the mix knob on 57% and the ratio on 8 because usually that's the tame the voice down from jumping out from the rhythm now, you know, because we done bring the vocal up in front, but we didn't want the vocal to be too much in front, saying because the vocal was song overpowering. So what I did now is to put the FG blue on the last chain, seeing. So what I did now, I leave it on 8, the input I put it on 12, and the output I put it on 21. Just to give it a nice balanced sound. Now listen to this song, people, you know what I mean? Yeah.
No selector show them a bluff and them a blur. We don't respect jump and
Now listen
without
the whole plugin.
sound in the street and left them a up on the car. No selector show them a bluff and them a blur.
Now listen to this
We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not getting no bar. We always feel sound in the street and left them a up on the car. No selector show them a bluff and them a blur. We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not getting no bar. We always feel sound in the street and left them a up on the.
Yeah, next plugin now I put a delay on the voice, you know what I mean? Because they're not busy man doesn't really sing straightforward now, you know. Good to give this vocal a little character. What I did now, I use a plugin from Air Dynamics Delay. You know what I mean? I forget the name of the damn plugin, yes? Oh boy, let's see. Air Music Technology. Name of the company is Air Music Technology. And I use their Air Dynamic Delay. This one right here, people, you know. What I did now, since the BPM is 160, I tried to put the sync delay to like 188 for the most, you know, because I did a search on the internet, and you know they showed me how to calculate the delay into 189. You know, put the delay to like 188. And the feedback to like close to 46 to 50%, and the EQ low cut, because you know it's got to roll off the EQ now, because you don't really need that, you know, like the boxiness up. So I bring it close to like the 600 range, and the 4K, the high cut at 4K, seeing, and I put the mix knob to 23%, and I put the mix. The envelope mix to like 80%. So listen how this thing song now with it now, people, you know. Yeah.
The car, no selector show them a bluff and them a blur. We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not getting no bar. We always feel sound in the street and left them a up on the car. No selector show them a bluff and them a blur. We don't respect jump and sound, that's why we not getting no bar. We always feel sound in the street and left them a up on the car. No selector.
I like to put a big on most of my vocals to give it like a nice, you know, studio 1978 feeling now, you know. I don't know you understand reggae music. Reggae music is based on like I was telling you guys the other day, distortion and a lot of delay. You know, because they use a lot of offbeats. A lot of reggae producers use a lot of offbeat inside of their rhythm. So if you could kinda get the vocals, the song kinda not really offbeat, but kinda off a little bit, it go sound nice when you play back on a big system now. And I like to use this. Since I'm using VZ Signal, as I tell you, is a top-notch artist, I had to come good. Next plugin I like to use, again after the delay, you know what I mean, there's a plugin I just installed from Abbey Roads. Abbey Roads, I want to give you the right information. Abbey Roads Vinyl Stereo. Seeing? And I'm using the vocal lift, the preset vocal lift. And I just change around the liking. So what it looking, Dread? This thing here, this plugin from Abbey Roads, this get like the frying noise inside of the, you know, like the long time noise how you used to like listen. If you listen to that old Studio One rhythm, and you hear a lot of frying and all that. Yeah, this plugin give that, and I put this on the vocal. You know what I mean? Because I like to use this on my vocals them. So when people listening back, they can get a nice vintage feel. Seeing I use the vocal lift preset, and I just change on this stuff. I just like how this look. You know what I mean? You know, and I just like how this look. And let's listen to his song.